Welcome back to the Squad Anime. You're here with Q, Akil, and David.
Yo.
And the most important member of the squad is you, the watcher. Thank you for supporting our channel. And today we're going to be talking about a DB fanimation by the independent studio Stray Dog called Legend, a Dragon Ball tale.
Yeah, so Nashir Pasha is a very enthusiastic fan of the great Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. And so this was a fan-made animation that has really blew up the internet over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool. You get to see some a really interesting take on Goku, and also even retells a little bit of the story with some new transformations that we have not seen before that are completely original. So starting off, we see Vegeta back on planet Vegeta with his dad, and he's getting anointed as the next king of planet Vegeta. We also see a little cameo of Raditz and Nappa, who are the royal guards of the of the throne room. And so this is really interesting because this is a completely retold story, right? Because Raditz originally came to the planet looking for his brother Kakarot, and so this is totally new. They said, forget your brother.
Yeah.
So we're just in a different timeline, a different way the story is being told.
And for those of you that haven't seen it yet but want to see it, I think we should talk about how the animation made us feel before we go into the specifics. So, given that, Akil, what did you think of the Fanimation when you saw it? You saw it for the first time not so long ago.
Yeah, I saw it for the first time recently. I do want to say I had actually been seeing pictures and screenshots from this animation on across the internet. I didn't know what it was from. I thought it was just random fans doing fan art. But I was a big fan of it. I like how it looked. It looked similar to, but still distinctly different from the original Dragon Ball style. A little bit rougher, but I can tell that they're an independent studio, so they don't have as much money to work with. But overall, I just found the animation to be so beautiful, especially considering that it was made by fans.
Yeah, I heard it took them around 6 years to make.
Wow.
So it was a total passion project on their end. And I really love the dedication. You love to see it from the DB community. I don't know if you guys have checked out the Fanimation mangas that have been done by Mondo Cool. I'll link their channel in the description. But their stuff is actually really cool as well. They have a lot of interesting takes on the way the series kind of developed in different ways. There's this multiverse arc where the verse that we're familiar with from Dragon Ball Z gets paired into an interdimensional tournament with a bunch of other universes, and those universes, one thing changed, in this universe, Cell won the Cell games, or in this universe, Majin Buu managed to completely absorb Vegito, and then they all meet and they fight each other. So it's definitely something worth watching if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff. But back to this particular Fanimation, we're going to go into the specifics about what we noticed in the Fanimation and what we liked and what we want to talk about. So, as David noted, we had note that Planet Vegeta still exists along with King Vegeta. So, one thing that I wanted to note was that this means that either they were able to defeat Frieza, or he never came to destroy Planet Vegeta, which is an interesting take on the story because Frieza is so integral to the Super Saiyan transformation. Because, he was present when Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time. So I wonder if the same thing happened with Vegeta, where he had to square off against Frieza, and that's how he got his Super Saiyan form. And I also like that they kept the tails. I think that is a big part of the whole legend of Dragon Ball and who they are as Saiyans.
Yeah.
And we'll go into a bit more about why that's relevant later. But yeah, David mentioned that Nappa and Raditz are loyal cards. What else did you notice, Akil?
I noticed that at least that this Fanimation takes place before Z, and the terms the last tournament of Dragon Ball where Goku was originally supposed to fight Piccolo. Instead, we have a hooded figure show up who we find out later is Broly, and he's the one who's fighting him at the tournament instead, which was the real thing that threw me for a loop, because I so far it seemed like it was following the storyline except for the fact that Planet Vegeta still existed. And then you see that that it's not, that you think it's Piccolo, they're fighting, and then it's revealed that it's actually Broly, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it kind of shocked me for a second, but in a good way. I was interested in the story, and I'm like, oh, this really is different. And so You know, in the audience, you also see we have the original Dragon Ball crew still: Krillin, Yamcha, Chiatsu, Tien, Launch, Oolong Por, and what looks like Trunks and a bald Bojack.
Yeah, he looks like Bojack. He has the goatee and the mustache, but you can tell he's bald. For those of you that don't remember what Bojack is, he's a space pirate that occurs in I forget the name of the movie. I think it's just The Legend of Bojack or something like that.
Right.
And it's when Gohan, after defeating Cell, goes Super Saiyan 2 and just puts the stomping on these guys.
That's true. So what are you guys' take on the Broly from this Fanimation? Do you feel like this is more like a Dragon Ball Super Broly, you know, where he's like has a good side, but he just kind of goes deranged, or do you feel like this is more like the DBZ like movie Broly, where he's just he's just on Black Air Force energy. He's just destroying planets one after another.
Yeah, this is definitely Black Air Force energy Broly. He came in, he was like no regard for like a woman standing in front of him. He knocked her ass into the wall, and then you remember later she punches him. He breaks her arm with no hesitation. This is obviously the Broly that just wants to see Kakarot killed, and you can see that from the moment he enters the stadium. He's just all Kakarot, which is just like the original Broly that we've seen.
They might as well just
so popular.
They might as well just have him come in like, you know, just saying like, "Run me the fade."
Yeah.
Who's fade?
On top of that, he has some scars that like more scars than either Broly I remember having, and so I definitely think that he's been through more battles. I'm not sure what it is that he's been through, but he's done quite a lot before he came to take Kakarot.
I mean, he became a Super Saiyan, so you know he went through some amount of work. But moving on, we had the DB crew in the audience. They still had their tails, which I think is a big part. The Goku form was more likened to the Legend of the Monkey King. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Legend of the Monkey King, but it's basically this god that like rules over, like, I could be wrong, but adventure, right? Is that somewhat right?
I'm not sure, but I know there's two different versions. There's the Chinese version and there's the Japanese version. So yeah, but they're both basically Son Goku. Yeah, who's the Monkey King? I believe he's immortal, and you know he has like the
the power pole.
Yeah, the power pole. It's supposed to be like 50 times greater than the weight of the Earth, or something along those lines, and it can extend like infinitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really love the take on it. Like the transformation, I think is so interesting in that it's a lot more savage than like a lot of the other transformations. It reminds me a little bit more like Super Saiyan 4. Like you see like a big personality difference in the people that do the transformation. Like in this case, he was just a savage. Like his fighting style was like a lot more wild, a lot more feral. Like his movements, like he literally seemed like a wild animal, like attacking Broly. And so it was to me, I really like that. I love that they made a transformation that was, you know, something that could be a representation of the legend, but also it seems really powerful and really cool at the same time.
What did you think of the transformation, Akil?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I did see the resemblance to like the Son Wukong, Son Goku myth, and I also just like the flame effect that it had, just all throughout. In terms of like he burst out the flame and then it like took over and like his hair turned into fire and his tail looked like fire as well. I really do like that. I loved when him and Vegeta were teaming up to fight Broly while he was in that form. And they did their, like, they kind of did their, together they did the Kamehameha, where he was like, now Kakarot, and they just, like, put their wrists together and then just blasted him.
That was really cool. That was interesting, because, first of all, Vegeta doing a Kamehameha?
Yeah.
Like, in what universe would that ever happen in the real Dragon Ball series?
He basically did. I feel like Galagon is pretty much a Kamehameha.
No way, man. That is a Vegeta staple. And as a Vegeta fan, I'm offended that he took the time to do the Kamehameha for his arch enemy. But whatever.
Speaking of which,
listen, in this universe, that's not his arch enemy. In this universe, he's a king. Okay, he's moved on. He's not the same boy who was chasing Kakarot. He's like, I'm king. I got a planet to rule. I got business to handle. He doesn't have time to be petty like that.
Speaking of, have you guys seen the ending, the true ending of the Fanimation?
I thought I did, but maybe I did. Maybe
the true
I
ending where
soon.
Vegeta is standing there telling Goku his real name and everything, right? He calls him Kakarot, says that's his birthright, and then
Yes, and his energy's
and
unrefined.
He tells Goku to prepare, and then Goku, preparing for war.
Yes, I did
So
see that.
That was another thing worth noting, that we're probably going to be getting, hopefully, an arc or maybe a longer animation. What I'm really hoping is that the popularity of this Fanimation will enable the artists to continue that their creative process, and we get to see this concept fully fleshed out, because it's really cool. I like how they took an original original approach to it. Sorry, continue, Akil.
Me too. I also am interested in other things that they might be willing to make, since like they are getting this traction. Maybe they have some purely original ideas that they would love to get out into the world with this beautiful art style that they seem to be really gifted at. And I just would love to see more from Stray Dog Animation.
I think, like it seems like they made a whole team to like create this project over the last 6 years. So yeah, I would love to see original work by them. Like, of course, if they want to continue making more, really cool, like, great animations for Dragon Ball, I'm all for it. But I would love to see original work by them, because I think there's a lot of potential there. And also, like, hey, new animation, I'm always down for that too.
Yeah. So one of the things that I want to run over real quick before we get to like our real talking points is that there was an over 9,000 reference when Vegeta was scanning Broly. I don't know if you guys saw it, but when it was like teetering on the edge of 9,000, and then it went to 9,001, and then it shot up towards Legend. Yeah, that was funny.
Yes.
It looked like Vegeta was wearing earrings that looked like Potara earrings. So I don't know if you guys remember, but those are the fusion earrings that Vegito is born with, and from DB Super, it's what Fusion Zamasu was born with as well.
Yeah.
And then when Vegeta says, even for you, Kakarot, when he squares off against Broly, that's the thing he says in DBZ before he dies in his Majin Buu fight, when he uses Final Atonement. You remember when he gets turned into stone after like self-destructing?
Yes.
That was that attack. And then when Vegeta tosses his cloak into the audience, it lands on Bulma, which I think was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter the universe, I think Vegeta just is destined to have Bulma by his side. I guess.
love that. They perfect package right there, right?
That's true.
So, what do you guys think of Akira Toriyama possibly seeing this Fanimation? How do you guys think he would respond to it?
Oh, I think he's already seen it. Like,
Yeah?
for sure. There's no way he has not seen it. Like, I feel like this has been so popular, especially on TikTok. Like, it's just like blown up. Like, I think he's definitely seen it. I think, especially at the beginning, like the author of this work did like a statement to Toriyama, like saying, his appreciation for him, and that how this is a token, or almost like a love letter from a fan to his favorite creator for all these works he did for all the for all the 90 kids out there. And yeah, I'm hoping like he would appreciate this. I honestly think it might be hard to continue making works like this for copyright infringement issues.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. He might ask the competition, right?
Yeah, the Japanese do not take copyright stuff seriously, or do not take it lightly. I mean, if you guys are familiar with Nintendo, even fan-made stuff gets taken down with a swiftness. It is brutal.
Yes.
What about you, Akil? What do you think?
Despite Japanese copyright law, I do think that Toriyama would love the fact that, like, I know that he already knows the vast effect that his work has had, but I think that he would still just love to see that, like, it inspired a fan so much that they made this beautiful animation, a spin and a different take on the world that he built and the characters that he made, and all this. I'm sure it would like touch his heart. So I think that, at least I would hope that he would be very happy that it inspired them to make this.
I couldn't have said that any better myself. That shit.
Absolutely.
So, what did we all like about it? I liked the different take on Broly. I thought that, well, not totally different take, but his introduction was totally different, right? Like, before you had him in the movie, the dad, Paragus, brought Vegeta, Goku, and a few others there to try to ambush Vegeta. I liked how he just want us to run the fade. He just came with that Black Air Force energy and was like, "Yeah, I'm on your turf. Come out." Vegeta had to come out too. He was like, "This man is about to destroy my territory, destroy my boy." So, one of the things that I took issue with, you guys already know, Vegeta using a Kamehameha with Goku. I was like, what? The real Vegeta would never do that. So that was the only thing I took issue with, but whatever. They have their own creative directions that they like, I guess, but I was shaking my fist in the background. So Broly attacking at a different time, considering the conditions of Planet Vegeta are completely different. Like, it's not destroyed, so it's not space dust. So it's totally possible that he just decided to up and leave after he became mature enough. And I find it interesting that Vegeta actually like cut his arm off in the fight. I thought that was pretty savage, and we don't see that much savagery in DBZ usually.
That's true.
Yeah. So what did you guys like about it?
I personally was a big fan of Vegeta in this universe, just in general. From the way he pulled up, to the Potara earrings drip, to the key sword, to just everything. Like, oh, when he was beating down on Broly, like slamming him into the ground, going up, slamming him into the ground again, going up, slamming him into the ground again. I was loving it.
That was some Gear 5 stuff from one.
Yeah, I was loving every second of it. I'm like, this Vegeta still got the same smoke energy. Like, he's not afraid. He's always ready to hand out the fist to anybody who's asking for it. But like, he also like, when he pulled up, there was everything about the way he said everything when he came in. He was walking in, talking to letting Kakarot know, like, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm here to save you. There's much that you don't know, but like, I'm gonna handle this shit first," and then just starts giving the work to Broly. It was beautiful.
And then in true Vegeta fashion, got the work returned back to him, and then Goku saved the day.
Yeah,
that's true.
But it wasn't
some things never change.
Yeah, some things never change. But it wasn't a completely one-sided Goku victory, luckily. They actually had to pair at the end. What about you, David? You were kind of talking about things earlier, but do you want to like give a summation about what you really liked?
Honestly, my number one thing, I just love the transformation. Like, I just thought it was fucking amazing. So, like, I don't know, I just wasn't a fan of the blue, like, series of Super Saiyans. Like, it was just kind of odd to me. Like, they did the Super Saiyan God, Yeah, Super Saiyan God was just red.
Yeah, just red.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool, and I thought we were gonna see like some, different varieties of red, but then no, blue. I was like, what's going on? And also like it was just like more odd. You would typically expect like transformations like each one to have more power, but with the Super Saiyan Blues, it was a little different. It was like I think they were saying blue was like a dial, and so although they were Super Saiyan red, like the blue was able to like control the ki more. I don't know, it was just kind of interesting. So I feel like this was like kind of straightforward. We just get a new transformation. He's like super strong, super fast, and his fighting style changes too. And Broly just was barely able to like keep up, And yeah, I don't know. I think the fighting style, the look, like the fire, the hair, the getting the tail back. Like I just thought it was all like really amazing, and I think those are what I really look forward to, are like those like kind of those concepts was like using your imagination and your creativity to create something new that people have never seen before. So that really got me. And then one thing that I would have liked to see was probably I know we had mentioned like how this universe gets to this particular point in time, and like Freezer was kind of a big like plot hole, right? Like I would love to see just like a little cameo or like a little clip of what happened to Freezer. Like did Goku's dad, was he able to kill Freezer in like this timeline, or was King Vegeta able to kill Freezer, or did like Freezer Trunks come further back in time and kill Freezer before he like yeeted all the state, like whatever it was. I think that would just been a nice cool tie-in to kind of wrap that up. Yeah, just to like kind of give like a clear explanation of how we arrived to this point, like what changes happened in this universe to get to where we are right now.
There's also a big plot hole because it was Beerus that told Frieza to destroy Planet Vegeta, remember?
That's true.
And so what happened to Beerus? Is Beerus even relevant? Is Beerus even a concept of this universe. So, yeah, just a lot of questions that we'd like answered. Right, Akil?
Yeah, honestly, and once again, I understand that it might not be possible because we talked about the Japanese copyright laws and how strict they are. Like something like this, maybe Toriyama will be like, "I want to work with you guys, and we could like do more with this version of Dragon Ball to help them get around the copyright laws." But until that happens, I'm not sure how much more we're gonna get from this studio regarding Legend, the Dragon Ball tale, and all that. But
Yeah.
it was a wonderful fan animation. I'm glad that it exists. I'm glad I got to see it. I'm glad that it's trending because of how good it is. Like, it deserves to be getting all the attention and hype that it's getting.
Most definitely. So,
That's true.
with that being said, I'm really glad that we were able to react to this video and give you guys our opinions on it. So, with that being said, I think we'll end the video here. Anything else you guys want to add?
Nah, I think that's about it. So,
All right.
squad out.
Squad
Out.
out. No, I'm kidding. But we will see you guys in the next episode, and stay with the squad. Peace, guys.
Stay with the squad.
Peace.